Salve Forth Paladins, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates +1. I'm Rear Admiral Tarek of the Dreadnought HMS Exile, as we continue our campaign against the Lyran Star Empire, and wow, the Lyrans have really pushed quite hard on our current position. We used to have basically all of this cored out, but they have come back with a vengeance. Luckily, we have managed to capture this planet here of 4-5, and we're about to capture the station at 5-4. So let us quickly double check, make sure our supplies is in good order. It is, and we'll set out into space and see if we can't secure our border position just a little bit better. Gonna take a holding action instead of an asteroid base assault, because the asteroid base assault is somewhat slow, and you don't want to start slow on the very beginning of the first episode of the day.
Red alert.
So let us red alert and increase speed. We are being escorted today by both a listening post as well as the wind chime, who is, I'm guessing, a carrier? Let's check this out. Yep, it's a CVSR. And we're squaring off against, unfortunately, a FLG, never mind, not unfortunately, an FLGF, which is useless and ignorable, a freighter, and a heavy cruiser, who, he's an MPF, he's a pseudo-frigate tender. We can take him no problem. Unless you're not actually a freighter. We've run into these before. These claim to be freighters. That is a dirty lie. This is a terrifying weapon of mass destruction right over here. We actually fought one of these a couple of seasons back, and he completely gutted us. That is, if this is the ship that I believe it is, and I do believe it is. Let's kick up the speed. We're going to actually have to get this rolling pretty quickly if we want to take care of things. Yeah, look at that. That's a freighter, according to the Lyrans. Don't believe their lies. This is the fakest of news. This is a full-on new command cruiser. And they call it a freighter because it's got that big pallet underneath. Lies, lies, and slander. Let's go over here. We're going to start vectoring in towards this heavy cruiser, who is properly labeled as such. That'll keep us in somewhat close to the wind chime, able to use their fighters to help support us. I thought we were fine, and then I remembered that this is not what it appears to be. So his fighters have already been deployed already. Yep, if you look, he's basically the exact same design, minus the pallet underneath. Terrifying and deadly. I need more speed. I need to get away from this guy as fast as possible. He's doing a speed of 20, and we are steadily getting up to our power combat speed of, looks like we're going to be about 25, 26-ish, and we're only currently putting out 1.5 points of electronic countermeasure noise, which only gives us a defense shift of 1, so as long as he's not focused on us, we're fine. Looks like the Stang has been pretty badly gutted already. That's actually pretty impressive. The mission holding action, we don't actually have to fight these guys. If we really want to, we can just blow right past them, go to the listing post, and scan them. In fact, if you're looking to do things quickly, that is the best thing to do, since the mission after we kill all these ships is not going to end until after we fly off the map on our own. Whereas if you take this mission and you immediately run for the listening post and scan it, it'll end right there without having to kill everybody. So I'm just going to come in and make sure that we annihilate the Stang. Probably have a semi-decent chance of making that happen. I'm actually kind of surprised at how much damage the cruiser was able to do to him. Let's drop in speed so we start getting some power into our electronic countermeasure system as well as the forward shield so we can tank on any sort of damage. We don't need to bother with saving our Hellbores because they're automatically going to cycle in on that target, but I'm probably going to have to fire these out. Yep. Fire them early to make sure that they slam into his defenses, and then we get it nice and close to rip him in half. Oh, that's a lovely, lovely assault. Wasn't able to avoid the mine, but that's okay. Interceptor, 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 interceptor. Nope. FLG, nope. There he is. An NTG C1. Slow down to full charging speed because we're going to need all the power we can get our hands on. And, oh, we already have... Wait, what? Why do I have every system charged already? I'm a bit surprised. What is not... Oh, because the fusion cannons... Alright, so... Quick reminder of how fusion cannons work. After they fire, they have a cooldown turn where they don't actually take any power, which is really handy for the immediate follow-up turn after you manage to nail somebody with all of your cannons. It actually can help you balance out power quite well. And there they go. They kicked on and now they're starting to charge up. And that limits our speed quite heavily because we've got them set to overload mode. So the first target being knocked out in short order was very nice. He's just cutting his way through it. Where are your fighters, my friend? Where did they go? They might have been shot down by now. Let's be completely honest, they're not particularly good fighters on their side. They don't pick the really good ones. Alright, so the Jungle Cat is our next target, who he definitely is more... I'm 90% more positive he's more heavily armed than the Stang was. Claw Runner actually getting in there and being pretty effective. He is really badly gutting the wind chime, unfortunately. So we're going to have to get in there relatively shorter. Let's kick into the actual budget that we would normally reserve for our electronic countermeasure, and we're going to dive in here as fast as we can. If we can save the wind chime, that'll be great, but I'm not... Well, his armor's probably good enough. Oh, he's about to get hit by another ESG, which is unfortunate. I'm going to ignore the Claw Runner. Let him do whatever he wants for now, because we're just going to go right on by. I have bigger fish to fry than you, sir. And they are right there. Wind chime not having a very good day. You know what? Let's get the fighters out. Let's get them deployed and protecting. And already they open up with a vengeance. Fantastic amount of firepower just being dished out, annihilating both of them. And the last one has gone down as well. Excellent, so we've taken out their pseudo frigates. And now we can come in nice and close. Let's slow down so we start getting some defensive power. And get me to a range of 0. And there we are. Torn asunder. Let's target our next final target. Fighters already doing the work, nailing him and ripping him apart as well. So once we got into the battle with our fighters, the enemy just simply could not cope. So we're going to target the listening post, and we're going to go to green alert and full power. So I'm very happy that we were able to save the wind chime. You always want to save your friends if you can. A little bit disappointed that his fighters went down, but I suppose that's somewhat to be expected. The AI is not exactly the most clever thing, so I imagine he basically suicided his fighters. Now granted, most of the fighters that the AI can make use of is the very base model fighter, which basically only has phaser 3s on board, so they've got to get, well, basically at a point-blank range, and things do not end well in those circumstances, especially not when the enemy's packing ESGs. So he was probably able to basically take care of everything without even so much as blinking. Alrighty, gonna rip on by, head right past the data transfer point, and now unfortunately because we've destroyed everybody, we must actually leave the zone, and that's gonna take just a little while. The wind chime is gonna be stuck here for... there goes a mine. Wind chime's gonna be stuck here for a little while they get all their engine repairs going on. Hopefully they'll get everything nice and fixed and be able to return to the war. Oh, this is one heck of a trip. Yeah, hopefully this holding action will have given us control of this sector. That'll give us 2 stations and a planet. That's a very nice bastion of defense, and we'll be able to use that to sort of springboard our way out. Taking concrete systems like that really goes a long way to actually building more Empire defense. Or Empire assault, I suppose it would be. Because we really do need to take back a lot of what they've taken from us, which, to be fair, was all of their territory, so... Successful information, they are planning an ambush very soon, and the tile is indeed taken. Lovely. So we can press out from here and start putting a little bit more pressure on the enemy. I do kind of want to reconnect with the rest of the group, but that might take a little while, and a battleship carrier. So we're 11,269 prestige. We're starting to get up to that 14 that I think I'm going to require for the battleship carrier. Hopefully we'll be able to get there soon. And we're going to increase the speed of time. We may as well. We're just going to be chilling out for a little bit. Overload and reduce the power tax a little bit because we can only travel to speed of 4 while overloading absolutely everything. Also going to kick up the electronic countermeasure immediately and also give me some forward shields. Hey, look, it's another freighter, isn't it? Or are you going to claim to be a heavy cruiser this time? He claims to be a heavy cruiser, and he is similar build to what we saw before. Unfortunately, we also have an Orion Pirate vessel. He's only a light cruiser. But yeah, same build as before. So let's cruise on in there, and we're going to basically attempt the same tactic of soaring in and annihilating them in basically one salvo. I doubt that's going to work this time. We probably are going to require fighters to actually do the job properly, but with any luck, we're going to have a lot of fun with them. I slow down in normal time because we are probably going to have to open up with Hellbores initially just to sort of shove them back a little bit. If I can time this right. Because it's all going to depend on when he goes bubble. And he is pulling away. Okay, interesting plan. If you want to do that, I can come in on your stern and then just nail you from behind, and that would be an excellent thing for me to do. But I was expecting the bubble move first, so a little bit surprised, actually. Nope, there it goes. Stand by for the bubble. Knock the bubble out, thanks to our Hellbores. And then we get in there with 131 damage. So he's not having a great day. So he attempted to ESG us, and we responded by firing our Hellbores into his ESG. If a Hellbore passes through an ESG bubble, he will instantly and automatically go towards the defensive system. Guys, no, I gave you a target. Not them. They're useless. They're worthless. Kill the Strongjaw. If you focus all of your phaser firepower on the Strongjaw, you will kill him before anything can happen. Oh, somebody's firing Hellbores from long range. I gotta call him back. Call him back. Don't want them to accidentally get killed. Gonna come in for the final phaser pass here, and I do think it will be the final phaser pass. We're about to have all of our phasers back online. It's not gonna be the most amazing shot ever, but it should be pretty fun. And our fusion cannons are now on the recharge. We gotta pick up a bit more speed so we can get in close. Gotta be at basically point-blank range if I want to make this shot work. So once I'm there, I will be able to basically knife through all his defenses. Because we are on the side to make that weak. Oh, even more damage to him. He hurt himself. He did try an ESG, but then we were able to follow up with a fantastic barrage. Unfortunately, we have an enemy who's just shown up. Fortunately for us, he's not particularly well armed. So we'll dump a mine there to sort of keep him away from our stern. Start to slow down, definitely. A single missile. Interesting. And I have no weapons that are currently having a target there, but I can slip by. He's now on our strong side. Slow down! Okay, forward shield collapsing from that is not very common, but we were able to get a free shot basically through his open shield and another shot for 37 damage, so he attempted to use the mine strategy, and this time we actually had weapons to punish that decision. More phasers. Got him. Oh, a lovely little victory there. Unfortunately, the forward shield did go down, which did hurt a little bit, but hey, we're here. They're not. I think we're going to stop on by a shipyard, see if anything's quite available yet, because I really do want to get a battleship carrier. I think it'll be a lot of fun. 372 for the additional victory. Unfortunately, this one's a little bit better defended. Pop into the planet, check out the shipyard first, not the supply yard, and we are looking for something that will cost an obscene amount of money, so 5,000 is not quite what we have in mind. We're looking at more in the 10,000 range. 5,000 is a Paladin Dreadnought. So the Paladins are 4 Fusion, 4 Hellbore, 9 Phaser, 1 4 Phaser Gs. The Regents are, I believe, heavier. Maybe not. Oh no, that was a Templar. So the Regents are 6 Fusion, 4 Hellbore. So yeah, we're a little bit more powerful than the Templar Heavies. Alright, since nothing is there yet, we will purchase the mine. And we didn't actually take any armor damage. That's pretty interesting, actually. And we're going to step back out into space, put a little bit more pressure on. And I will take a surprise reversed. A nice easy mission to zip on through, annihilate everybody. Enigma would also be a pretty fun mission, but I want this one. Because it can guarantee what we're going to do. So increase the speed of time as we basically cruise along to try and get on top of these. Looks to be pirate raiders. Yes, indeed. Frigate, heavy cruiser. Ooh, 2 heavy cruisers. That's actually pretty impressive. They don't normally bring that much firepower to the table. Let's get ourselves up to speed. We're almost there. And Hellbores are fully charged and ready, so we are cruising as fast as we're going to be able to go. We'll dump our fighters as long as they don't have anti-missile defense systems, and if they do, well, then we will not do that because I won't have to pay for the replacement of the fighters. We're getting close to getting a brand new battleship, but we're not quite there yet, so no sense in actually wasting the cash that we could potentially have. Alright, about to pass within range of sensors. And no AMD. Interesting, okay. Solid speed of time, because we're basically going to run him over. Oh, we are in range to shoot him as well. Ooh, it's an X-type. So, deploy the fighters.
Roger, we're going in.
Target him. And yeah, I should have known that. I should have known better. I really should have known better. Okay, he's dead. And unfortunately, I probably wasted a little bit too much firepower on doing that. But that's okay. We're going to be fine. We'll get the forward shield reinforced and back to maximum speed. Yes. I just love just how much damage they can deal with those Gatling phasers. It's absurd. I mean, they just annihilated a heavy cruiser in just a couple of volleys. Granted, the heavy cruiser was not attempting to defend himself, but that's still pretty ridiculously impressive. It's time to start taking care of the little light guys. We'll get our fighters back home, so they'll be fully repaired and rearmed by the time everything comes back. And you're about to feel the full wrath of the entire battleship. Or dreadnought. We're not quite a battleship yet. We will get there. We'll have to add an additional nacelle before we can really consider ourselves a battleship. Phasers are almost ready, and I think the phasers might be enough. He doesn't have a whole ton of systems on board. They were, and the final target is a LR+1. This really is a pretty terrible ship. It's only 6 phaser 1s. 6 phaser X's maybe, but just 6 phaser 1s. You see, it feels like you don't have enough finishing firepower. Although that is the same number of phaser 1s that are on a heavy cruiser in the early era, so maybe I'm just expecting too much. From a frigate, anyway. To be fair, pirate frigate. I should always keep that in mind. Pirates are not exactly well endowed with heavy weapons. 300 prestige and a taken tile. Well, not quite taken. It has been neutralized. Gonna pop off, pop back, and take the patrol. Straight up battle as things must be. Ready up, and rock and roll. So straight on battle, so we'll actually prepare for one. So we'll set the shield reinforcement to full power. We'll also set the electronic countermeasures to full power, and let us not ever forget overloading the fusion cannons, because at the end of the day, you're never going to use them at a range where you wouldn't be able to overload them. Not being escorted by anybody else today, which shall be just us in the middle of the black, and fighting a single light cruiser. It's a pirate light cruiser, so I'm not going to lie, this is a pretty terrible matchup for him. He's probably not going to be too happy with what's about to happen to him. He does have a G-type plasma torpedo. Okay, that's okay. For a light cruiser, a single plasma torpedo, not exactly terrifying. He also has a pair of G-type missile launchers, which I do believe give him an AMD. Yep, that gives him 2 AMDs, and he's got a couple of fighters. So theoretically, he's packing 68 damage, unless he fires from beyond effective range. Reduce speed, buff up the shield. Ooh, that was... I forgot to shut that off. We're going to have to hit him with some heavy weapons then. Okay, bouncing most of that off of our forward shield. And our Gatling phasers did not engage entirely. Well, now they have. Going to come around. You have a weakened shield, and now you are missing a couple of shields. So we'll pass on through without too much trouble over there. Could launch some fighters. I mean, I don't want to launch fighters into that, but we could. I think we'll kill your little fighter group. Ugh, most annoying tactic in the universe. You're not gonna save... Oh, you blew up my G-type Gatling phaser. That's not cool. Okay, several levels of I'm about to kill you now. So, fighters, let's go on the attack. They'll probably annihilate these guys. Yeah, I figured that one was gonna happen. I had hoped that it wouldn't, but... Well, you gotta know these are pilots, and they are very hungry to be able to take on an actual heavy target. Increase the speed of time. This guy's days are already numbered. The moment my fighters got in on this fight, he was basically done for. Yeah, I know you've got an anti-missile defense system. It is not gonna save you. Perfect. Not quite, but good enough. So that fighter squadron needs quite a few replacements, but the way that he just soared in and annihilated them, despite the point defense system, is more than a little hilarious to me. So 210 prestige is a reward, as well as the taken tile. Pop back home. And quick check of the shipyard. We're looking for like a 12 or 13,000. There we go. Well, it's not the one I want. Oh, now I'm going to be picky. So this is an MNR, a full-on Monarch-class battleship. She is equipped with 4 fusion cannons, 8 Hellbores, 14 Phaser 1s, and 4 Gatling phasers. I want this one, the MNV, which has 4 fusions, 6 Hellbores, 14 Phaser 1s, and a Phaser G, and 4 Phaser Gs. But what I actually want is an MNV lowercase x, which is not quite out yet. So we're probably going to have to wait another couple of years, well, maybe just 1 year. Not quite certain when they will come out properly, but that's the goal on what we want to get. Gonna have to spend quite a bit of prestige restocking our fighter base, unfortunately, and 7 damage on the ship, 14 damage on the ship, and a couple of spare parts were indeed spent. And again, max that out. So we're doing well on prestige, and I do believe that by the time it actually comes up, we shouldn't have too much trouble. Oh, got a map update. Quick check of the shipyard, just want to double check. I don't think an MNV-X is going to show up. I mean, I know it won't since it's not on the ship list yet, but that will indeed be our goal. Quick mission over here. It's a straight-up patrol. A shipyard assault in the middle of nowhere? Really? Did I miss something? And let's go and see if we can't annihilate these people in relatively short order. That will be the plan. Get the shield reinforcement going on, get the electronic countermeasure systems going on. We need all the defensive tools at our disposal in order to make this as painless as possible. For us, at any rate. Not so much for them. So cruising around at our speed of 4 while we charge up all of our weapon systems. Nice and easy. A freighter who is not actually a freighter. So the Lyrans are apparently making use of some deceptive techniques in order to try and catch us off guard. They shall not succeed. Probably could deploy some fighters in harassment mode. That might not be a terrible idea. But really, I just want to bowl him over. Because I know he's carrying like 4 pseudo-frigates. It's going to be quite a few. He'll also try and bomb us with his bubble machine. We shouldn't have too much trouble with that. We do have a couple of points of power into the forward shield. Able to take his incoming siege damage without too much trouble. Alright, now time for the actual battle. We are, of course... Yep, we were ready for this. Looks like he's activated all of his ESGs. And we knocked them right off. Hi, point blank range. 136. Fighters, go.
Roger. We're
Again,
going
they're
in.
probably going to engage these guys, but maybe I'm going to get lucky. Oh, I got lucky. Oh, that's how you do that one. See, that was the goal. That's what I want to do. I want to knock out their ESG with the Hellbores, ram into them with the fusion cannons and the phases, and let the fighters finish them off. That could not possibly have gone any better. 240 prestige is our reward for a job well done. Oh, it is a planet. Interesting. Alright, but that's going to do it for today's episode. I've been Tirak. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see a notification every time I post one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.